Hello everyone. Today I'm checking an essay, task 1, IELTS task 1 essay written by Musoxon. And you can look at the picture. It's a bar chart, and the bar graph below shows the stock price of 4 different technology companies from 2011 and 2016. And you can look at the 4 technology companies: Facebook, Google, Apple, and Yahoo. Of course, they are trends. This is an overtime essay from 2011 to 16, and they did not mention any values here. That's why you can just keep it. And okay, let's start checking. First, I'm going to read your introduction. Most on the bar graph chart. So graph and chart, I think they have the same meaning. That's why I have to omit one of them. Okay, let's omit graph. So you have to use only one of them, the bar chart or the bar graph, but do not use two of them. Shows the stock cost of 4 different system businesses. Is it about business? I don't think it's about business. And they said different technology companies. Different technology companies. System and businesses would be incorrect. So it's better not to paraphrase this. You could just keep the word company. Instead of system businesses, you could keep the word company or companies. The bar chart shows the stock cost of 4 different companies from this to this. And here they use it from to structure. That's okay to repeat it, but it would be better if you said between and rather than from to. It would be better if you said between and instead of to here. Because the paraphrasing style would be stronger in this situation. Between and instead of from to. Okay, introduction is done and let's continue. Overall, Facebook, Google, Apple, and Yahoo. So you have to use a capital letter here because it's the name of the company. This company's indicator rose and drop. Rose and drop. Rose and drop over a certain period of years, but Google's indicator did not change. I think you wrote a very unclear essay in this part. This indicate the companies indicate this company's indicator. Okay, you mentioned 4 companies, but this company is which one? Here it says rose drop. I think rose drop. Instead of rose drop, it would be better to say fluctuate. And let's look at the picture. This one, the figure for Facebook did not fluctuate. This one decreased. This one increased. When it comes to Google, the figure for Google remains stable, but when it comes to Apple, increase, decrease, increase, decrease when it comes to its value. I think he wanted to talk about Apple, but you did not clearly give. If you want to achieve a very high score, you have to be clear about what you are writing. That's why full overview. Grammatically, that's too bad, believe it or not. And my recommendation would be instead of rose and drop, by the way, you could say something like fluctuated. Fluctuated would be better. And yeah, that would be the best option over a certain period of years, but Google's indicator did not change. Yeah, this one is correct, but you are not clear about your opinion at this part. That's why I'm gonna mark it as a very big mistake. Even this portion grammar is not okay. You are just saying this. Pay attention to subject verb. Okay, let's continue. The company with the highest indicator. I think you are overusing the word indicator. Okay, indicator, again indicator, again indicator. Okay, I'm gonna mark it. Was Apple. Its peak figure was more than 30,000 in 2012, but 1 year ago, Apple's indicator again it had not even reached 5,000. After 1 year, increases significantly. That's a very unclear sentence. You are not paying attention to grammar. You are not paying attention to punctuation. But you have to improve it. Pay attention. You should start with 5,000, not this one. Like, do not start with 2012. You have to start with 2011 from the very beginning. This indicator, it had not even reached. So you should write this sentence from the beginning because full of grammar mistakes and punctuation, and the approach is completely wrong. By 2013, it had exceeded 50,000. Where is 50,000? 2013? Is it 50,000? Maybe you wanted to say 5,000, but I guess you didn't do this. That's why I'm gonna mark it as a mistake. It surpassed 10,000. Between 2015 and 16, it decreased significantly and did not exceed 5,000. You said it did not exceed. Exceed means it could not become more than 5,000, but actually it could become more than 5,000. That's why this information is wrong. And decrease it significantly. Facebook's indicators. Okay, I want to mark this indicator. So, okay, 1 second. Like overusing, you are overusing this word. So, 1 second. Yeah, you overuse this word, that's why I'm gonna mark it with red, because you are overusing, you have to change it. Maybe you should change it to company's value. Again, indicator. So again, indicator here. And its peak figure was more than 30,000, but again, indicator. It surpassed between 2015 and 16. It decreased significantly, did not exceed. Okay, Facebook's again indicator, right? And the question talks about stock price, but in your body paragraphs, you are not talking about anything related to stock. So Facebook indicators had exceeded 5,000 and doubled year on year until 2016. Its indicators were, yeah. Let's look at Facebook. It's one increase, one significant increase. You should not mention like 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. You can just talk about the first beginning point, about 7,500, and it reached 20,000. I mean, the stock value of Facebook increased significantly from 7,500 to 20,000. From about 7,500 to 20,000 over the period, you could say. This would be much clearer. This would be much clearer compared to your original form. That's why I'm gonna mark it as a weakness. So Google's indicator was 0. Was it 0? Was it exactly 0? Of course, no. I think 0 is this part, but I think it was more than 0. That's why your data is incorrect here. You are again overusing this word. 0 is definitely incorrect. Did not increase at all. You should have said remain stable instead of did not increase at all. It would be much better to say it remained stable. This one would be much better. Yahoo's indicator. Again, indicator. You don't know another word with synonym for indicator. It surpassed 5,000. It decreased year on year. So I want to say that you are not clear about your essay. I didn't mark your punctuation mistakes because before you work on your punctuation mistakes, there are other weaknesses that you have to work on. That's why I'm not gonna mark punctuation mistakes. First, you should improve your grammar. You have to repeat normal sentence structures. This is gonna be my recommendation, and you should be clear about what you are writing. As you can see, most parts of your essay they are not clear. And like I said before, one more time I'm gonna repeat. You should have said the stock value instead of stock price. You could say stock value, maybe the cost, stock cost maybe, but stock value would be better. Or you could simply repeat the word stock price of a particular company. This would be much better compared to repeating the same word over and over. Company with the highest indicator. No, not highest indicator. It's the highest stock value, let's say. Is the highest stock value. For example, this one would be much better compared to your original form. And I think I am done. I'm not going to score this essay. I'm not going to give the score. But the score is too low, and that's a shame. And learn from your mistakes. And in the future, do not repeat these mistakes. So you can do it. Believe in yourself. So you can see this essay, and yeah, that's all about his task 1. And let me just see once. Okay, I hope you learned from your mistakes, and I hope you are not going to repeat these mistakes in the future. And word limit is not 150. It's okay, that's not a big deal. 149, that's okay, but you should pay attention to meaning and work on clarity. And thanks for watching. It was fun. And learn from your mistakes. I hope you will correct your mistakes next time. And see you. Bye bye.